Half-Ass Picks brought to you by GeeksGamers.com and everybody's favorite Dollar Shave Club, who we happen to need to use right
I got to
now.
shave. I got to shave tonight for sure. Hey guys, welcome to Half-Ass Picks. I'm Joey Abdullah.
And I'm Josh Bowers.
And like I said, we took a week off after we did the Rogue One edition. Before we start, Josh, did you like Rogue One?
I didn't like Rogue One. I loved Rogue One.
Oh,
I
man.
loved Rogue One. Great movie. If you have not seen it, if you haven't seen it for a second time, go see it for a second time. It blew The Force Awakens out of the water. Yes, Jeremy, I know that's not your popular opinion.
Anyways, listen, we got a long show ahead
We
of
have
us.
a long show ahead of you, and the show today is brought to you by the O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels this weekend at the Chattanooga Area Convention Center. If you're in the area, you need to come check it out.
I'd like to shout out my friend Ryan Hughes joining in.
Thanks, Ryan. We'd also like to give a big shout out to the Pro Wrestling Nation. That is a public group now by Geeks Gamers. If you haven't joined the group yet, go join it. Awesome discussions, awesome forums.
Great people.
Great people, okay? They're actually the second group that's live in Geeks Gamers.
Yeah, one of the second groups that's gone live in Geeks Gamers. So
Awesome.
big fan of Pro Wrestling Nation. Good job to Samuel Ortiz and Wes Blank and the whole team.
Appreciate you guys. You know, we've been wondering what to do after football season. Maybe we could be a guest on one of their shows during Pro.
Only if CM Punk comes back, you'll catch me coming with the X's.
Well, you can come with the X's. I mean, you can't drink in a bar or anywhere anyway.
You're not gonna go there. I'm legal, guys. Go Dogs. Rocky Top.
Go Dogs, Rocky Top. That's right. Hey, let's start off this week by talking about the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Ballots were released. They're going to release the inductees sometime in the next few weeks. What do you think about a couple of the names? My favorite name out of the whole group is T.O. because I think he was just so darn entertaining.
You know, like I said, I'm a salesman. I'm an entertainer. I love
right.
Terrell Owens. I've always have. You know, through the 49ers, to the Eagles, to even, you know, as much as it's like the Cowboys, you know.
Right.
Love Terrell Owens. I don't think there's a more deserving person other than LaDainian Tomlinson getting into the votes.
True. Well, Terrell Davis also, you know,
That's Terrell Davis.
two-time MVP. I don't know why any of these three guys are not already in the Hall of Fame. I think T.O. was a no-brainer, first ballot Hall of Famer.
Shout out to Jason Taylor, too. Another great guy getting in there.
Awesome.
I was glad to see that.
I was very happy to see that. Talking about MVPs and Hall of Famers, who do you think is our MVP this year of the league?
Where's Jeremy Griggs? Where's David LaRock? Matt Ryan is the MVP, and to me, it's an undisputed MVP. My runner-up would be Aaron Rodgers. My third place would be Tom Brady. Matt Ryan has earned this MVP. 38 touchdowns, almost 5,000 passing yards. He's my guy.
Mm-hmm.
In his last game, I know people had said, okay, he threw 4 touchdowns against the Saints. But how about 4 different receivers in the first half? He's the guy to me. I think he just had a better overall year than Aaron Rodgers, and he's my MVP.
Right. I'm going to agree with you on this one. I think that Tom Brady has had a better season, but his season is 4 less games than everyone else, whether I agree with the suspension or not, which I think it's probably the dumbest thing I ever heard. You know, everybody knows that the suspension is not about the deflated football. It's about him basically saying to Goodell, you're not getting my phone, you're not checking my phone records, which I wouldn't let him do either. I mean, how many times have you seen something leaked?
Yeah.
But Matt Ryan has had the best season out of it, and I think that he's a no-brainer Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer when it comes to this year's MVP. Speaking of this week, how about this bowl season? Did the SEC look any worse?
I'll tell you what, man. Shouts out. Where are my Bulldogs? Mississippi State Bulldogs, 5-7, St. Petersburg Bowl champions, Egg Bowl champions. Someone give Dan Mullen a raise.
Right. The Tennessee Vols, Music City Bowl.
By DeBoard. I'm excited to see Mike DeBoard. Okay, I appreciate everything Mike DeBoard has done, but like I said, a win against Nebraska. Looking at Mark Helfrich maybe coming in to the offensive coordinator position. I'd love it. I'd eat it up.
That would be awesome. My phone has been blowing up with all kinds of updates today.
Would Butch need to watch out about Mark Helfrich maybe taking a job in the future? Oh,
wow. I think that the only thing that Butch needs to watch out for, and this is our next topic. We'll just go ahead and skip this one and go right to. I think that Chip Kelly would be the perfect person for that job.
You think so?
I think that they need to be on a plane right now finding Chip Kelly, knocking on his door, and begging him to come to Knoxville and blowing Chip Kelly.
And keep Mark Hufford as OC.
I don't think it really matters with Chip Kelly who is OC. I think it's who's their wellness and conditioning coach is, because that defense is going to be on the field for so long.
I'm going to tell you where I see Chip Kelly going. I see Chip Kelly going to either a Pac school as a head coaching job, or I see him going – I'd love to see him in the SEC. I think a job would have to open. I think Gus clinching the Sugar Bowl, he probably wouldn't have his job taken from him. Maybe possibility of seeing Chip Kelly go to an offense. Let's say Kyle Shanahan or Josh McDaniels, two respectable offensive coordinators of the Patriots and the Falcons, get a head coaching gig. I'm sure a lot of people would like his offensive mind. I just think that if Oregon didn't hire Willie Taggart, would Chip Kelly be in Oregon?
I don't think so. I don't think that a dog returns to his vomit. I don't. And not that Oregon's a garbage program or anything. I just don't think that Chip Kelly would go back to Oregon. And I also don't see him being an offensive coordinator in the NFL, even though he says he'd be open to it. But, look at this guy. He's made a lot of money. Philadelphia blows him out. They pay him $5 million. Then he goes to San Francisco, made $6 million this season. And you know how much they had to pay him to fire him?
I don't know.
$15 million.
I want to be a failure of an NFL coach.
Only in America. Only in America.
Aren't these contracts too crazy nowadays? Should we do 1 or 2 year contracts? All these 5-year contracts to an unproven coach? Look at Brock Osweiler. So it's $72 million. He looks more like $27 million to me.
Joey, congratulations. You are a failure. We're giving you $25 million. And I can't say he's anything but a failure. He did awful in San Francisco. He did nothing to improve the team. Philadelphia, the more control they gave him, the worse the situation got.
But he did come off the 10-6 season with Philadelphia, not making the playoffs. But I always hate to see a team go 10-6, not make the playoffs, and a team go 9-7 to make the playoff. But that's just the reality of the NFL.
Houston,
21.
Texans.
Tom Savage. How about Brock getting benched? Tom Savage getting injured, and then Brock now getting to start a playoff game, and probably going to beat a carless Raiders team. I saw a meme where it said when your car breaks down when you almost get to your destination, and felt sad.
What are you smoking, man?
I don't smoke.
Oklahoma is going to run the ball right down their throat. I mean, Oakland, not
What
Oklahoma.
are you smoking, FSB?
Well, Oklahoma did run it right down Auburn's throat. That's what I was thinking of. But Oakland, with those 3 running backs, they're going to run it right down their throat. And they're going to sack after hit. Osweiler ain't even going to know where he's at by the time that game's over.
Can I ask you a question? Can Auburn play a game without all 3 quarterbacks coming in? Or is it just law that they have to play?
Well, we're having one quarterback next year, and his name is Jared Stidham. And I'll tell you, he's going to be the second coming of Cam Newton.
I heard the same thing about a guy named Anyway, what's the next topic, my friend?
The next topic. Oh, wow. J.T. Barrett, is he coming back to Ohio State? Turns in his draft card, and they laugh at him.
Well, I guess his percentage of going to the NFL will be about the same as points he scored against Clemson. That would be a 0% chance. Tell that kid to go back to school, get his education, and become a registered nurse.
Right. Let me ask you, do you think that J.T. Barrett will have a Terrell Pryor maybe capacity in the NFL, maybe a running back?
He'll have to switch positions like Braxton Miller did as well. I look at even guys like Cardale Jones who came in over the weekend and just look like a flat 7-up you get at a who even carries 7-up still pull. I don't know, maybe KFC.
Cardale Jones was in the game for like 5 minutes. I mean, I don't think we can judge him.
In that 5 minutes, he looked. Anyways, I think that the level of quarterback play is different. There's certain guys like Marcus Mariota, which they can go in and they can adjust to the NFL. And I hope Mariota will become the franchise quarterback. I have my doubts at certain things he does, but at the same time, I guess it just depends. I think J.T. Barrett needs to go back.
Well, J.T. Barrett is going back. I just after next year, does he play in the slot? Does he have any position in the NFL? That's mainly what I'm more curious about than anything.
I think the same thing about Nick Marshall had to adjust positions. If Josh Dobbs, if he does go, he'll probably have to as well. As much as I'd like to see him as a quarterback, I think he would have to adjust as well.
Josh Dobbs in the NFL, what?
Well, I mean, you got to find a position. He was 20 yards short of Peyton Manning's record. There's a spot for him. It may not be a quarterback, but if he wanted to, I'm sure they could find a position for him.
Maybe like the new eyebrow installer.
Come on, man.
All right, moving right along. Okay, big news out there this week. Looks like we're going to have a off-season of musical quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins, will he be in Washington next year?
I think the Redskins will be crazy not to pay Kirk Cousins.
I agree. I mean,
who are they going to draft? Who's going to be ready? I mean, look, you got a 28-year-old quarterback
right.
who sat on the bench. He's learned a little bit. He's played good.
He has played good.
You know, thrown for almost 5,000 yards. He had a plus 16 or plus 14, one of those, an interception to touchdown ratio.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in. I'm sold on Kirk Cousins.
He's one defensive series away from the team being in the playoffs, in my opinion. Whether the team wins or loses, I don't think it's ever going to come down to Kirk Cousins. But I don't think that what's out on the market is better because Tony Romo. Next name, okay?
8 years older.
8 years older, injury prone, bad back, bad knee, blah, 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 blah. The list goes on and on and on with Tony. He did look good on Sunday, and it was good to see him out there doing good. But that's Dak's teams now. He's going to move on. Washington can't get him.
I mean, look at A.J. McCarron. I still wouldn't. I'd take Kurt Russell over A.J. McCarron. Like A.J. McCarron, but, you know, I think – what do you think about Andy Dalton? He's there for the long run.
Right. He's their franchise.
So McCarron's got to find a team. It's
right.
not, you know, could it be the Jets? Could it be the Broncos? It's not going to be the Redskins.
Right. Where do you think Tony's going to end up?
I would say the Broncos.
The Broncos?
I would say the Broncos or Jets. I'm leaning more towards the Broncos because of that defense.
Do you think that they're that low on Trevor Siemian to bring Tony in?
Well, I mean, Paxton Lynch has already got to start the season. They didn't make the playoffs. Their coach is gone.
Right.
I mean, there could be a coach comes in who's just not having Siemian. Paxton Lynch looks like he needs some growth to sit on the bench a little bit, like how Rodgers and Garoppolo did as well. I think that he's on a 2-year contract, pay a little bit of money, as why this defense is in its prime, and you might be able to win a Super Bowl. You might be able to win a Super Bowl.
Maybe. Okay.
I think Tony Romo is your best chance to win.
All right. You know, I think that I thought he'd go to New York.
I like the Giants.
I know the Jets.
I agree. That would be my second call.
Jets. That's where I think he'll end up.
I would like to see him. I think that's a good fit.
I've heard Denver, but I see John Elway being really high on Trevor Siemian, and truth be told, I think that Siemian, next year he could grow into that position.
Like I said, I need one more year watching Siemian. I watched him this year. I see the mistakes. He's a 7th-round draft pick out of Northwestern. No one expected him to be a Blake Bortles or Andrew Luck, but he's growing into his position.
Right, Tony Romo moving right along. I see him going to the Jets. You see him at Denver. A.J. McCarron, he says he loves it here, but he wants to play. Where do you think A.J. McCarron ends up?
There's a couple destinations, and one of mine is almost such a crazy thing I've been thinking about. I want Osweiler to work out with Houston.
Right.
But what if they could trade Osweiler away to some crazy this probably won't happen, but let's say Osweiler, if they can find a way to trade him, and someone wants to pay some money for him. They can take a little bit of a loss, have Tom Savage as your backup, and you can have Savage and McCarron on a pretty decent money factor. Right. Something to look at, but at the same time, I don't know if there's a place for A.J. McCarron right now. That would be my only way. But there's no way Houston with $72 million invested.
Right.
Also not all that's guaranteed money, but at the end of the day, I don't think there's a spot for him right now. But one could open up. San Francisco could open up.
Right.
Which, you look at San Francisco, as Kaepernick's not the guy.
No.
You can't tell me that a slip in my mind, having a big brain fart, that Blaine Gabbert's the guy. Maybe San Francisco. That's the one team I could see him going to.
I could see him going somewhere and competing, but I don't see him getting an Osweiler type deal. I could see him going to Buffalo, New York Jets, maybe Miami.
With Ryan Tannehill?
Well, I don't think that a lot of people love Tannehill.
I don't like Tannehill.
Especially if Matt Moore does good in these playoffs. Matt Moore wins a playoff game, Tannehill, pack your bags.
Matt Moore's a dude.
Matt Moore wins
Boise State.
Watch this. Matt Moore win a playoff game. Where else is a quarterback battle? I said Buffalo, New York Jets, San Francisco.
I think that's his ideal spot. You look because there's no quarterback there.
Uh-huh.
I think A.J. McCarron and Garoppolo.
Right.
I can see McCarron and Garoppolo going into San Francisco. They trade a draft pick or something and keep rolling.
Well, I think that whoever, if they did trade a draft pick, I think McCarron will be picked up by somebody in free agency. But I think Jimmy Garoppolo, with Belichick, with his mind, I think he's going to want a Sam Bradford type trade. I think he's going to want like a 1 and a 4 for Jimmy G.
I'll say this: I would take Jimmy Garoppolo over Sam Bradford as my quarterback.
Well, I would too, but I mean, when you trade a first and a fourth round
It's a
pick,
big commitment. You're looking at two guys who will really grow your program and grow who you got.
well, I like Sam Bradford. I just think the defense fell apart.
Yeah, I like Sam Bradford too. I think he's been more of a bust in his career. He's been trading around, but I think he's slowly getting better. Slowly getting better. He didn't get injured this year, which was beautiful to see him actually play a whole season.
I think Sam Bradford played and you guys, y'all can fire me up on comments, whatever you want to say. Y'all can send me the hate messages. But I think Sam Bradford played a playoff-worthy season.
No, I'm not going to attest to that. I mean, he had a good finale. The team fell off.
The team fell off. The defense, they were nasty weeks 1 through 5. But where'd they go? Where did they go?
I still won my fantasy team. They came back to last week. Fantasy Sports Wars Fantasy 2 champion.
Right.
But like I said, you're right. I think that's one of the biggest collapses as a team. It reminds me of the Falcons last year starting off 5-9. We just said, you know what, let's not play football.
And then finally, the last name I got on this list, a guy that I'm really high on, and I looked at his stats today. I think it was 17 pass touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and 6 rushing touchdowns on a
those are Pro Bowl type numbers.
On a terrible 3,000 yards. I left that part out. On a terrible Buffalo team, Tyrod Taylor, who may have signed the dumbest contract in the history of sports. 5 years, 1 year guaranteed, year-to-year team option.
Terrible contract.
But
someone will get him and pay him, I think.
But where does he end up?
You know, obviously the management team after Rex Ryan got fired said that E.J. Manuel was playing this game.
Right.
They didn't put him on the roster. Cardale Jones was the backup.
Right. Well, also in that contract, I left this part out. Sorry to interrupt you. If he gets hurt, they've got to pay him $30.5 million.
Tell the man to fall. Help! Holland can't get up. I think Tyrod Taylor is still the man in Buffalo next year. I think I think of the frustration has kind of. So let's just try something new. We got a new coach. I think Tyrod Taylor is the starting quarterback next year once they really look at it. And if not, I could see Tyrod Taylor going. I hate to keep bringing up the 49ers, but he would fit a very offense they wanted to him and Carlos Hyde to have a spread type offense.
Mm-hmm.
Could see it. Couldn't see him in Denver. Couldn't really see Tyrod with the Jets. I think he'd have to go out to the West Coast, but I think he stays with Buffalo.
Right.
Then again, Buffalo and the Jets aren't too far apart. It might work out moving wise.
Right. Oh, guys, thank you for sticking in with us. We're going to move right along to our Blue Apron Wild Card Weekend preview, okay? First game, Houston versus Oakland. We know who you got.
Hate to pick them. Pat Brumfield, if you're ever watching this, great admin, Sports Wars, huge Raiders fan. I got to go with Houston, and I hate it because Connor Cook is not going to be able to handle this pressure. I lost a lot of his tape in college. Connor Cook, he's not a very humble guy. I've watched the way he's kind of done things. He's never been in this position. I think he goes out there. I think he throws a minimum of 3 interceptions in this ball game. If they let him throw more than 20 passes, you'll see Latavius Murray really carry this team on the ground. I like Oakland to win this game to lose this game by at least 10 points. Hate it. Love Jack Del Rio. Love Derek Carr. Love this team. Shout out to Miguel Rivera, Rocky Top, great Tennessee tight end. But I like Houston. I think Osweiler, he doesn't play $72 million worthy, but he plays at least $27 million worthy in this world. He'll seize the day, man.
I can't disagree with you more. I cannot disagree with you more. I think Jack Del Rio is going to dial up such an offense that Osweiler is not going to know what he's doing the entire game like he hasn't all season. And Connor Cook is going to do enough to win the game.
Connor Cook?
Isn't that what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just saying. I wasn't questioning because he's so used to Matt Eason.
I didn't want to throw out Matt Eason or the Washington Redskins instead of the Washington Huskies.
I'll say this: I'd rather have Connor Cook out there than Matt McGloin. It sounds like something you get at Texas Roadhouse.
I kind of like Texas Roadhouse.
I do too. I just said,
you want to go there after?
I just had Cheddar's. By the way, I just had a Monte Cristo at Cheddar's.
I like those onion things. That's really the only thing I like.
Blue and onion? That's Outback.
Well, no, they have them at Texas Roadhouse too.
So you hear it here. The winner, he picks Oakland. I pick Houston. The loser has to pay for someone's Texas Roadhouse. How about that?
There we go, right here.
Right here, half-ass picks.
Heard it right here first on half-ass picks. Oakland wins this game because they have the best 3 running backs in football. They have a strong as hell defense.
Khalil Mack is awesome.
They're gonna move right. They're gonna move right along. And I'm not saying that they're just going to win. They're going to win by double digits. You watch it. You heard it here first on Half-Ass Picks, okay?
And
I don't care what anybody else is saying. Josh Bowers said it. Double digit, Oakland win.
By the way, why this saying? I would love to see Oakland win this football game. I'd love to see Oakland make a playoff run. I just think Lamar Miller, Alfred Blue, Osweiler, DeAndre Hopkins. If Connor Cook can throw the ball, Oakland got a chance.
I want my steak medium rare. I want a sweet potato, and I want one of those onion things.
Well, we're doing medium, son. Moving on.
Moving right along. Detroit versus Seattle.
This is going to be the best playoff game of the weekend. Lions, they're 0-4. They're in the playoffs. They could have won their division.
Right.
But more of the story is they're going into Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go ahead and say this off my chest right now. Seattle has not had a very good year.
They have
To Seattle standards. Don't get me wrong, 10-win team in the playoffs.
Right.
But, I look at some of the wins too. I'm not 100% sold on this offense. I'm sold on the defense for sure. Great Seattle defense. But I look at Russell Wilson. They've had about 17 running backs over the year. I'm sure fantasy guys they're scared to pick up a guy because CJ Procise, Christian Michael, so many more running backs just keep running through this rotation.
Right.
The receivers, Doug Baldwin, Tyler Lockett will be out if I'm not mistaken. He's out for the entire playoffs.
Right.
That's a big weapon there. I like Detroit to win this game, and I'll say by a field goal. I think Russell Wilson. I'm not sold on this great. By the way, I think Russell Wilson's a really good quarterback, but I think it's not his year.
Yeah. Everybody knows my feelings about Seattle and the Seahawks, and especially Richard Sherman. I can't stand Richard Sherman, but they're going to beat them bad. They're going to beat them bad, just like they did in primetime against Dallas. Dallas beat them in primetime really bad, and it's going to be probably worse this week because their defense is better. Matthew Stafford, I'm glad you made it to the playoffs. Hats off to you for doing it without Calvin Johnson. Zenner at running back. What was it? Marcus Bennett said he's the best white running back in football.
He is, for sure.
In my opinion, I think he's the only white running back.
What about Burkhead with the Bengals?
Okay, well, one more than I do, but
Seattle. What happened to Toby Gerhart?
Seattle wins this game. What happened to him? He was on the cover of Madden.
I don't know.
He was on the cover of Madden, and he's not even on this planet anymore. But moving right along to game of the week, in my opinion, best wild card weekend game: New York versus Green Bay.
What a game! NYG Giants. Love it. I love them in the playoffs. In fact, this is it's scary to say this is a Super Bowl contender. Victor Cruz, Odell Beckham Jr., the offensive line's playing good, the defense is stepping up. I won't touch much on this game. I'm afraid to watch it, but I expect the Giants to be an offensive frenzy and a big threat to the Falcons and the Cowboys in the playoffs.
Right. When it comes to offense with Green Bay, it's going to come to Aaron Rodgers because they're going to be all over Jordy Nelson. They don't have a running game. I don't know the guy's name that is playing running back, Montgomery or something. He's like number
Ty Montgomery. He's a wide receiver.
Yeah, it's maybe next year Green Bay. Hey, hats off to you. Y'all made the playoffs, but
we finally agree on something.
New York is the most dangerous team in the playoffs right now. It's nasty. Okay, New England is trembling right now. They are praying to the football gods. Please let Aaron Rodgers beat them because we don't want to even think about playing them again.
I wouldn't even say that. I think the Falcons and the Cowboys, they don't want them to come into their stadium.
Well, Dallas and Atlanta, they match up so well. Neither one of them want to play New York.
Well, look, the Cowboys have 2 of 3 losses this year to the Giants.
That's right.
They don't want to play them, man.
That's right. And another interesting stat: Dallas has never beat New York at Jerry World.
Dang,
Never.
I did not know that stat.
Never.
That makes it more. I think the Giants are a huge contender. I'm a Falcons fan, but I gotta be honest with you. If you're not scared of the New York Giants in this playoff,
I'm scared. I'm scared just thinking about it. Moving right along to Miami playing my preseason pick for the Super Bowl. It's public knowledge. I picked in September Pittsburgh to play Green Bay in the Super Bowl. I think I'm wrong now about Green Bay, but I do see Pittsburgh beating Miami and possibly beating New York or New England and making it to the Super Bowl.
I'm going to say this. I want to talk about a commentary Bradshaw said about Mike Tomlin. He's not a very good football coach.
Yeah.
I got to disagree. I think he's one of the best young coaches.
No, that's not what he said. He said he's not a great football coach.
Well, okay, let's say great.
He's not a great football coach.
I still think he's one of the better young coaches in any sport. And there's not a job he couldn't take. And I think at someone his age,
he is one of the better young football coaches. But when I think of great, I think of Nick Saban. I think of Bill Belichick. Okay, how much bad stuff you hear happen in New England's locker room? You don't.
Well,
nobody gets suspended. That travesty that happened last year against Cincinnati, Bill Belichick wouldn't have let that happen. Bill Belichick wouldn't have let that happen.
Josh Bowers has gone out of control. Half-assed pigs brought to you by Riddle.
Tomlin, I don't agree with Bradshaw calling Tomlin out because I think that was dirty. I think it was very dirty to do that. I think that he could have deflected and said a million other things because he's a professional on so many levels. But he was right.
But how about this? A lot of these coaches you're saying, when they were Mike Tomlin's age, they've never been. Mike Tomlin's accomplished more at his age.
Who cares about his age?
Well, and his year in the game, he's got to where he's gotten to be. He's been the coach for almost 10 years,
and he's winning Super Bowls.
But he's still winning games. How many coaches even go to Super Bowls? Look at Bill Belichick. He took a huge gap from winning the Super Bowl from 2005 to 2004. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Belichick's one of the best guys out there. But from 05 to 13, there was nothing Belichick didn't do that Tomlin didn't do either. They went to the same amount of Super Bowls. In fact, Tomlin has a better win percentage. Overall, I will never compare Mike Tomlin to Bill Belichick. But I still think he's maybe not great, but I still think he deserves respect.
They've renamed the AFC North to Belichick's land. When Belichick retires, they're going to rename the AFC Championship trophy to the Bill Belichick Trophy. I mean,
go Pats.
I'm not a Patriots fan.
I like Tom Brady,
but great is here, and Tomlin's and everybody else is somewhere right in here. Saban is right here. Everybody else is down here.
And I agree, but I also when you talk about coaching, it's I always find it hard to critique the college of the NFL game. I'm not sure if Saban would have the same.
I'm just comparing great to good.
I agree,
great to good because I don't think in coaching there's Belichick, there's Joe Madden, and then there's Nick Saban, and those are the
that's your big three. I agree.
Right. And Phil Jackson in basketball.
Yeah.
Coach K in college basketball. And, we can go back some years and, please comment, please lead a discussion if you think I'm wrong, Geeks Gamers world out there. But that's who I like. Back to the game, though. Who do you like? Do you like the Matt Moore, Miami Dolphins, or your greatest young coach in the history of football?
Well,
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Let me take this. Let me take Matt Moore to throw multiple interceptions and let Le'Veon Bell run some touchdowns in. Right. I like Pittsburgh to win this game comfortably.
Absolutely. Can't disagree with you. Can't disagree with you at all, even though we disagree on a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I think that's what makes the show great. If you like the show, give me a like right now.
And I'll say this, touching back to one more game, so I want to make this clear. The Lions-Seahawks. I'm picking the Lions, but that's my gut pick of the week because I do think the Seahawks are heavy favorites.
Right.
But anyways, it's been great. We're probably at like an hour.
We're out there. See, we got stuff to talk about. We don't need to go this long between shows. I apologize, guys. We're both in retail sales, and it was crazy the last week of the year, and we just didn't have time to get together and do a show. And I do apologize because there was so much stuff that went on that we didn't get to cover.
And I do want to apologize for me losing 35-8 to Josh and Matt.
Yeah, you should apologize.
So
and my 8-year-old wanting to drop you.
Yeah,
my 8-year-old is fierce at video games.
He's very good.
I don't know where he got these genes, but and he's kicking off his basketball season this year, this weekend, He's on a very interesting team. Their coach said on the first practice they're going to learn sportsmanship and how to be a good sport.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys,
I appreciate him volunteering. Wait, we're missing the Dollar Shave
Whoa!
Game of the Year.
How
did we miss this?
Oh man!
We started off as a college show, and we've just talked about so much pro stuff this week.
I was just so excited to talk about these playoff games. We forgot about the best freaking game of the year.
The Dollar Shave Club National Championship game. We're going to pick it right here. Deshaun Watson against Alabama.
Well, how's Mark going to do it?
It's just a defense. It's such a nasty defense.
Gosh, man. How about Bo Scarborough's run against Washington? That was one of the best runs I've seen. I was watching it over here in Ooltewah. And, how about Lane Kiffin? That's something to talk about before we pick the game.
Lane Kiffin.
It's Steve Sarkisian and obviously he's been through his alcohol problems and he's going through here. I wish him the best. And I'm so glad to see him get this OC position. And I like him to call a good game. What better tested this as an OC than play the national championship repeat game? I love repeat games, by the way. I love watching rematches. And as good as Clemson looked in this game, I like Alabama to win the national championship.
It's going to be nasty. I mean, everybody wants to say Steve Sarkisian, Jalen Hurts, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. Run it left, run it right. The defense is going to stop anything. Deshaun Watson, I think you're going to have a great pro career. I pray that you do not get your talent wasted in Cleveland like so many before you have done.
Shouts out to my cousin.
But you're going to be remembered at Clemson as the guy who lost to Alabama twice in the national championship game. Because it's going to happen, it's going to be a reality, and it's going to be nasty.
I agree. I think, let me see how aggressive I think this game will be. I think at any point in the second or third quarter, if it's 4th and 1, 4th and 2, I think that was when he's already going for it. I think he knows what's happening. I think he knows if I want to win this game, and here's my keys for Clemson to win this game. Can't settle for field goals. You got to get aggressive as hell. I think you do. I think if you let Alabama take double digits in the third or fourth quarter, it's over with. They're gonna roll through it.
Right. I mean, and a position that doesn't get talked about probably ever is the punter for Alabama.
J.K. Scott, excellent punter.
Excellent punter. Probably the best punter in the country.
Yeah.
And I think that he didn't qualify for the end of the year punter award because he didn't have enough punts.
Well, and when your team's that good, it's
so
a shame.
So if Clemson does stop him, he's going to back him up. And it's going to be a nasty field position day for Clemson all day long. I can see them having to go the length of the field every time they get the ball. Because the Sark, this is his second chance. He ain't going to mess this up, okay? Kiffin's gone. I wanted him gone. I think it's the best thing for him to be gone. I don't know why they kept him to, this point, okay? I don't know how that works out with recruiting or whatnot, but Saban is the mastermind behind it all. It's going to be nasty.
I want to say this. Look at Alabama and what they've held teams to. And I'll just name a couple teams. We're going to disqualify the Ole Miss game early on in the season because they're still trying to find their identity. So we'll forget about that game. Tennessee in Knoxville. You can say what you want about Tennessee, but they're a pretty explosive offense. 10 points. LSU, Leonard Fournette, Darius Guice, Danny Eitling. Crazy team.
Right.
0 points. Washington, Jake Browning. I mean, a team that scores like 40 points a game. Went up 7-0 and never scored again. That's scary. That is a team of talent. 17 points allowed to Tennessee, LSU, and Washington. What does that tell you?
Right. They're a nasty football team, and they're on such a level above everyone else.
All those on neutral side. Those weren't any of those were home games. Wow.
And I mean, you saw the game last year. It was. I mean, I don't think the score gave it credit for how bad Alabama actually beat Clemson, but. That's neither here nor there. We appreciate everybody.
Score prediction. Right before we roll, let's get a score prediction for the game.
Score prediction. 33-10.
38-28. I think Clemson's gonna get some points. Last year was 45-40. I'm gonna give Clemson some touchdowns.
But
But some of them will be garbage time touchdowns.
Right.
Like when it's 38-10, 20, and they score.
That's why I gave them 10. I thought it would be 31-3 going into the fourth.
I'm not going to roll that out. I think Alabama will They'll take the spots going. But anyways, I'm sure
I can
have
see
no idea
late
what
in the
time
game,
we're on.
Watson, whenever it's over, Watson scrambling and getting it in. We appreciate everybody for sticking in. This is Half-Ass Picks brought to you by GeeksGamers.com and Dollar Shave Club.